Why your story matters. Why? Why you? Why does your story matter? Hey, everybody, it's Sam Crowley here, and I want to really speak with you, not to you. I want to speak with you about why you got to get this message out that's been on your mind. You've been thinking about it for a long time. You probably don't have clarity on it. How does this stand out from everybody else that's out there? Is it really going to make a difference? And yes, it will. Well, let me ask you a question. Think about the last time that you heard a lesson from a mentor of yours, whether that was having a cup of coffee at Starbucks, whether you're listening to an audiobook, a podcast, maybe watching a YouTube video. You remember where you were when you were taught that lesson, or when somebody shared a really powerful story with you. Now, I promise you that person at one time did not think, I don't really have much to share, but eventually they did. And they did because they realized that they just want to get it out there, because what if they take it with them to the grave? What if you don't ever share this story that you've wanted to really share, and you just take it with you to the grave? Who benefits from that? Well, geez, I'm not going to get 1 million people. It ain't about getting 1 million people. Before you ever get to 1 million, you got to get to 1. What if you put a podcast out there, a YouTube video, or something on social media that helped one person? That's it. Just one person. I get letters from people all the time, and I don't know how this started or when it started, but I started receiving emails from inmates that are in prison. I'm like, that's weird. Like, I didn't even think about starting a prison ministry. I didn't think my message could get, it was from a podcast. So I've had a podcast for the past 20 years called Every Day is Saturday. And just that alone started because my daughters wanted me to be home more than 1 day a week when I was in the corporate game, right? I would work 6 days a week, and if I wasn't at work, I was home thinking about work. I said, you know what? I'm going to go make every day Saturday. That sounds pretty cool. So I launched a movement with not one follower, not one person knew about me. As a matter of fact, when I quit my job and told everybody what I was going to go do, I'm going to be a speaker and a podcast, they thought I had absolutely lost my mind. And that's when I knew I was on the right track. Because if I'm on the side of the room where everybody agrees with me, I'm doing something wrong, And it's not about being some shock jock out there or, upsetting the apple cart. But isn't it funny that something simple like that my kids want me home because they want a dad? And oh, by the way, my dad walked when I was 3 months old. So I know the power of having a father in the house and what that means to a child when they're 2, 5, 7, 8 years old and on through high school. So I knew what that meant. And I'm like, well, geez, it seems kind of simple of a reason why you'd want to go for your dream, but nobody's going to want to hear this. That's the thoughts going through my mind. Nobody's going to want to hear that. I mean, everybody knows that you should be home with your kids, or you should be present with your family. And I'm not knocking on people who have a job. That's not it at all. All right, it's not it at all. This was my story. It's not the right one. It's not the only one. It was just my story. And I tried to pretend like it wasn't a big deal until it did become a big deal. Until I said, you know what, I'm going to launch a podcast. No one's going to listen. Well, people started listening. Well, I'd like to be a public speaker, but no one's ever going to have me on stage. Next thing you know, I'm on stages in Australia, London, Canada, US. Simple. Look, I got 20 college credits, all right? Most of those are gym and health class. I'm not here to challenge anybody intellectually. I'm here to challenge people to go for their dream. That's it. That's all I've ever done. That's all I ever want to do. I'm not here to solve marriage, relationship, health, or finance problems for people. Leave that to the experts. I'm here for legacy, because I know at this ripe old age, this video, 56 years old, I'm closer to my last day on earth than I am to my first day on earth. And I'm not going to die with the music still in me. I want to just see if there's anybody out there that's going to view the video or listen to the podcast or go to a local venue to watch me speak. What's the harm in that? So if you're somebody that's really thinking about, I know I got stories that people would want to listen to. I know I have stories, and I know I have lessons that I can teach. Just do it. It's going to be messy at first. Of course it is. It always is. Don't be, don't have this delusion that all of a sudden you're going to come out of the gates and you're going to sound like the greatest speaker in the world. It doesn't need to be that. The more raw, the more authentic, the better. I'm sitting in a living room on an iPhone, just sharing a message. Maybe 2 people see it. Maybe 2 million see it. Doesn't matter to me. I know that I got the message out. It's going to plant the seeds in good soil where it needs to be planted. That's it. I'm totally cool with that. All right. I have no emotional attachment to that outcome. What I am emotionally attached to is making sure that I get a story out, that I get lessons out there that are going to help somebody. This prison ministry that I was talking about earlier, that was a side effect that I never saw in a million years coming. Like, guys will email me, or their mom will email me letting me know that their son has 30 minutes a day to connect to the internet, and they choose to listen to my podcast in that span of time. That's it. I'm good. That's all I need. Like that's all I need. Anything else that happens as a result of sharing my story of encouragement, hey, that's gravy. So get going, get moving. You'll never regret taking that action of getting your story out there, teaching a few lessons. It's going to help so many people. Is there going to be a situation where maybe somebody snickers, somebody who knows you, a family member, a friend, a neighbor, something like that? What do you do? Of course, that comes with it too. That's nothing, man. That's water off the duck's back. They're not attached to you. They're just curious. They make a snide comment. No big deal. What you're really doing this for is somebody who's lonely, they're hurting, or maybe they need to learn something new and you're there to teach them that. Here you are. They've been thinking about it, praying about it. Here you show up for them. That's what it's about. It's not about us. It's about them. Get going. Don't wait. Do it today. Share your story. Teach a lesson.